And we're back.
We're back. Welcome to the cavalry,
Welcome
folks.
to the cavalry. 2 long weeks. It's been Johnny. You look great. What? You're wearing a hat. Backwards hat guy. Look out.
Yeah, I'm staying young, keeping it young.
Cool, Dad.
This is my. This is I got this when I performed stand up at the baseball game. It's
Oh, that's right. The wieners.
my wiener hat. The Madison Mallards. I don't know why it has a wiener on there, but I guess
They just gave that to you.
they.
Normally the Madison Mallards have ducks on their hat. They're like, oh, Johnny's coming. We'll give him the
Yeah.
hot dog hat.
I asked someone about that. I was like, "What is the deal? Why does this have a wiener? Like, what's the?" Because every time there's a foul ball, they say wiener, and I thought that was hilarious. And it turns out if you go get the foul ball, and then you bring it to the concession stand, they'll give you a hot dog if you turn in the ball. So that's why they say wiener every foul ball. But I have a hat with a wiener on it. I asked someone, they're like, "Well, baseball, you get beers and hot dogs." I'm like,
Yeah, but every
I
team
don't
that's
think
not
that's it.
that's not special to the Mallards. It's not like,
Right.
hey, we're the hot dog team. We have hot dogs at our games, so we're gonna call ourselves the Wieners. Like
Yeah, I
every
don't
team
get
does.
that.
They'd be like calling yourself the baseballs.
Right. The bats.
Hey, our mascot is the base. We love the
Yeah,
base.
we got hats. Come get your capri pants baseball hats. So we wear stupid capri
Uh
pants.
yeah, that is a funny thing about baseball, like the pants going to the knees. What's
Didn't
that?
they
How
change it though? Did we? Didn't they're
well
now it's
some
down to the
yeah,
knees?
sometimes some players wear them down to the ankles. But like what is the strategic advantage? You know what I
I
mean?
don't know.
What's going on there? I guess because they
Ah,
slide. I don't know what I'm talking about. Uh, but you told me about your baseball experience, but we didn't talk about it on the podcast.
what was my baseball experience?
Doing
Oh,
the
we didn't
stand
talk
up.
about it?
No, wasn't that on the phone? Wasn't that in the last 2 weeks, or did we talk about it?
I don't know. Oh boy, we should
As
have
this is the
listened.
problem with
Well,
having a
I think
two week break.
wasn't I talking to you about that high school gig? I was driving home.
Oh, is that what it was?
I I thought I called. No, I called you because, or did I call you because my album got taken off of
Yes.
uh iTunes? That was it.
See, and you
But I was
fucked it
driving
up.
home from some.
You screwed everything up by calling me. See, I can keep it
I
straight in my head what we've
know
talked about on the
what we've talked
podcast,
about.
as long as we never talk in any other context.
We have talked about it. We have talked about it
Okay.
because that time I think we only talked about my album.
Okay. Well, so forget the baseball.
All
What
right,
else?
so we didn't need
Nothing.
to talk
There's a lot else. What else? Nothing else happened really in the last 2 weeks. Nothing really to talk about.
about. No, yeah,
No,
nothing,
no
nothing
world
in,
events.
nothing in the news.
It was so it was so crazy. We were flying back from Cape Cod or Boston for our family vacation. So we were flying back and we were at this airport bar. And it's so stressful, with kids and a dog. We had a kid and a dog. So it's like a lot.
Oh my,
We
yeah.
get through security and you get to like a restaurant near your gate. You're like, oh, okay, you relax. We're sitting there having a glass of wine, ordered food. They have the TVs on, but no sound. And all of a sudden, like one TV's on the news, most of them are on sports. And then it's like one
Yeah.
TV, like something weird's happening at the Trump rally. They show him like falling down, like ducking. And you're like, I wonder what he did. What an idiot. And then you see the other TV cuts into the Trump, but they never turn the sound on. So it was this, and my daughter was using my phone to watch a show.
Yeah.
So I was like, I couldn't get information. I was like, and Heidi doesn't have like Twitter or anything on her phone. So it was very frustrating trying to like figure out what was actually happening.
Does
By
she
the end,
have
I knew
Internet
it was a big deal.
Explorer on her phone?
Well, yeah, she has the New York Times. So she was like refreshing the New York Times. I'm like, oh my God, what century is this? She's like waiting for a guy to write a whole story. You know, you need you need reckless speculation right now. That's what you need. You need people
You
just
need someone on their couch watching
yeah, going
TV
what the fuck? Like
telling you
yeah,
that.
yeah. Some guy at the event videoing it. She's waiting for
Yeah.
like an op-ed to finish or whatever about civility. So but yeah, so then we get on the plane and then you turn your phone's off, and it's weird. You're like, oh my God, I hope everything's fine when we wake up. And it was fine.
Yeah.
One guy got killed, but for the most part, everybody's fine.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, that was nuts. It's a weird way to get on a plane. Where were you when you saw
Oh, I
this?
bet.
Where were you,
Uh,
what was happening?
what night was it?
I know, isn't it amazing? And I almost predicted this because like immediately you're glad that you didn't know one person had died. I mean, it's a tragedy, and the kid who did it died, of course. So it is a
Right,
tragedy.
right.
But like we have a lot of gun violence in this country every day that we don't
Yeah,
doesn't keep us up at night, unfortunately. But like,
yeah,
so the president didn't get once you knew he was, or the ex-president, once you knew he wasn't killed, you're like, okay, now you start thinking, how does this affect the world? You're like, is he like for sure gonna
yep,
win now, or like is
yeah,
uh is this now, is there going to be violence going the other way? Are people going to retaliate? You don't know. And it's amazing. And one of the scenarios that played out in my head is like, man, we're so crazy now about news and moving on to the next thing. I was like, I wonder if we'll even be talking about it by like next week.
yeah.
And it is, and I
No,
and
it's
it's Tuesday
nuts.
right now, right? It does feel like we're not talking about it as much as it, like, as big of a deal as it really was.
Right.
Like it does seem like it's fading very quickly from the consciousness to where you're even like, when did that? You know what
I
I
know.
mean?
And it was what, 3 days
It's
ago?
3 days ago. Yeah.
Was it Sunday
Like if
or
9/11
Saturday?
happened now, I wonder if we would be like, nine, what was it? 9/10? 9/9? What day was it?
Oh yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
so true. That's so sad. It's so true though.
But
Oh
our
God.
yeah, I think we're trained that there's like our news brains have been fried. And it also might just be the fact that he was fine, and he,
Yeah.
but still very crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Nuts.
Nuts.
Weigh in, folks. Weigh in. What's your
Man, what
thoughts
so we're gonna
on
open up the phone lines.
assassination attempts? Oy, oy, oy. Well, I've got a discussion point that's
Okay.
a little more
Yeah,
pressing
move
than
us
that.
on. Move us off of that.
So I did the Lincoln Lodge, which
Sure.
was great. Uh, love it. Loved it. That was my first time at this. Apparently, they're in their fourth spot. I had not been there since they were in their first spot. So it had been many, many years, and I like it a lot. You said you did. What room did it? Was
I
it
don't
that you
remember.
did?
It was quite small and we still didn't sell out. That's what I remember. I
Okay.
think it I think it could probably seat like 40 in there max, and we were a
Oh, okay.
few short of a sellout. And I was like, "Oh, 40-seat
That's
room, it'll be so cool. I can just tell everybody sold out Chicago. Sorry about it." And then we never quite got there. You're like, "Oh, god damn it."
So I was in whatever the main room is, the big,
Oh.
well, it's big, but it's
Oh.
120. This wasn't the Johnny Beaner show. I was just doing a
Main
set.
room Johnny. I see how it
Yeah,
is.
main room Johnny. And it didn't sell out, but it was Friday and it was like, I mean, there was probably 70, 80 people there, so it was really good. And I got all excited because it was like, I mean, they were laughing at setups,
Yeah.
jokes that like new jokes, because I made sure I was doing like new stuff. And so like new jokes that I just couldn't quite get, but I was being stubborn about. It finally hit, and I was like,
Yeah.
I knew it. I was right. It is
Fool's
funny,
gold.
And
Yeah.
then my friends were coming Saturday, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. They're gonna see me in this sweet room. They're gonna see me
Yeah.
kill. And then of course I'm talking to Mark, the main guy there, like like before the show, and he's like, "Oh man, sorry about that. Of course, this is the weekend you have to come down. It's gonna be all dismal." I was like, "What? Last night was great." He's like, "Yeah, last night was great. We only got like 30 people on the books for this show." I was like, "Ah." So my friends there, they make up, 15% of the crowd or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And I mean, it was okay, but it was like
Oh, I
it
know.
sucked
Why
so
can't you all
bad
just
compared
go
to
to
the
the
night
good
before.
one?
I know.
Your friends never go to the good one. It's like, and there's nothing worse than when you have people come see you and then they look around and then they're like, they have, they must have this thought like, if we would, like, what if I didn't come? There, you know what I mean? There'd be no show. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what you want from your supporters,
You just know
but
they're
I'm sure
thinking,
they loved it. I'm sure you did great.
they're looking around and like, oh my God, this is Johnny's life. Ooh,
Yes, I know.
how
This
does
is he
how does he
wanted us to
sit?
come to this. He told us about this one.
You wanted us to see this?
I
Oh my
know.
God.
I did that with so in Cape Cod I had a show. I booked it to kind of because I used to live in Boston, so I just asked Boston friends if they knew anything on like within 20 minutes of where we were having this vacation, just so I could like we were there for a whole week, and I was like, I don't know, it'd be nice to make a couple bucks or whatever. Not
Yeah.
thinking that, of course, people would from my brother's wife's family who all live up there and have all these friends there, of course they're going to want to go. And that didn't occur
Yeah.
to me at all because it wasn't a show like I was putting together. They just, like you said, like it's like, here, you can close this show out and I have no control over it. I don't know. So, of course, he like overbooks it with like 8 comics, and everybody's
Yeah.
filthy dirty. This guy's my sister-in-law's parents are there. My parents come. Every comic is just like cartoonishly filthy, just like anal this, anal that. Literally, the guy before me, he had this whole long bit. He was a funny guy, but this whole thing about like Hitler's dick. And did you
Yeah.
know Hitler's penis was broken? Like you know how you have a hole in your penis and I have a hole in my penis that's at the tip.
I
Hitler
sure do.
had a disease, whereas he peed out of like the bottom of his dick, like underneath it. It was all fucked up. Anyway,
Oh, like
this
he
is
didn't
what
have a
I
hole at the tip of his penis.
not
His
in the
hole
tip.
like went
He
down
had like a
before it got
little
to the
drip.
end.
It's like those hoses with like those drip line hoses. It was like something like that.
Oh wow. How about that?
So that was just like that was like the show, and it was really long and hot, but then it was also like a super hot crowd to the point that you were talking about, where stuff is working, where you're like, this is not, you know what I mean? Like these guys are
Yeah.
laughing at everything. And
Yeah.
so then I'm thinking the whole time, like, oh my God, everyone's killing. They're so filthy. By the time I get up there, I got to do like 40 minutes. They're going to be dead. And it's hot in here. Everybody wants to go home.
Yeah.
So it's just never good. It went great. Everybody was, the crowd stuck around and it was good, but it's never good to have people come and see you. Strangers.
I
Comedy
know.
is for strangers. And
Yep.
fans of yours, great. But even that is a fine line. Like there has to be, if you're going to be a fan of a comedian, you have to recruit enough of you to make it like a tipping point situation. Like it's your job to get enough people to come out so that it feels like cool to be a fan of the comedian.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And friends and
Oh, totally.
family just never come. No, nobody who
I
ever knows
know.
you should ever come to a show.
How do you handle that when you have that attitude? I mean, I do have that attitude. But like you go to a city where you're like, I got family
No,
here.
you have to. I mean, you
You
got
have
to
to what?
promote your shows. You have to promote your shows, and
No,
then they're going
I
to see
know.
it. What are you going to hide? We're going to
Well,
tell
no,
them
yeah,
to
you don't
use
hide,
a
but like,
fake
do
name?
because you are promoting it, they're going to see it. Do you reach out or do you just hope
Oh,
they,
individual reach out. I don't know. I
yeah,
I don't think you have to. We talked about that before, but that's not your job. Your job is to
yeah,
promote the show to the club's satisfaction.
yeah,
Like do what and to your own because you want to sell tickets. Like I'm not
right.
against like becoming successful. I know it seems like it, but I'm not
Hmm.
against being successful. Sometimes I even think it would be nice, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's overrated probably. But
yeah, I don't
Anyway,
want to sell out. That's the
just
thing.
like
I got offered, but nah, I don't
friend,
want to
friend,
sell out.
yeah, yeah, no. I've been, trust me, could have been successful many a times. But no, I
Yeah.
just think like friends and family, you don't need to. What are you doing? We get to talk. Like you want to hang out, just come, let's hang out. That's what I used
Yeah.
to tell people. Like, you don't have to come to the show for us to like catch up. We could just go do something,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the show, yeah, let's get lunch while I'm in town.
Yeah.
And then you can tell all your friends to come see me while you don't go.
And then there's
Yeah.
this other thing that happens. Like my parents came, which was very nice. I mean, not for me. I don't know who it's a nice gesture, I guess.
Right.
But then they were like, "Oh, we should buy tickets." Like, no, you don't have to buy tickets. Like, of course, you're my parent. They're like, "Well, we don't want it to look. We don't." I'm like, I get no look. I would tell you, but I get no financial benefit from you buying tickets. So I'm very happy to
Right.
comp people into the show.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Well, does that make you look like I don't want them to not want to book you next time?" I was like, "It's the opposite. If I go and my parents, people find out my parents paid for tickets, everyone's gonna go, what is this loser doing? Why didn't he ask? Where is his self-esteem? Do you think Jerry Seinfeld makes his parents buy tickets, when they come and see him?
Yeah. And they're not gonna like give it like if it's like a big crowd, they're not gonna be like, whoa, they're all here to see Andrew. They're like, no, these people are here for comedy, and we happen to have Andrew or we happen to have
Right.
Johnny this week.
So, but then but then I like offered my brother, I was like, hey, and he already bought a ticket. It's like, oh, why didn't you just ask me? It's like, no, 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 I can do it. It's so condescending. They're like, hey, I got it. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not getting the money. You don't understand. Like
Right.
if it was a door deal, I might just tell you no comps. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Ugh.
that's
Oh,
so
and
comedy, folks.
at the end of that same show that my friends were at, there was a guy. He was making himself part of the show. He's off to the side. He's a super old guy wearing a baseball hat that had hair. So when you take off the hat, it's a bald guy, and
Yeah.
everybody had hair. So he got a big laugh early in the show because the MC thought it was real hair, and that gave him a big boner. Anyway, so at the end of the show, like during that who was it? The second last comic. He's on stage and is a black guy, and the host is also a black guy, and the guy in the audience goes, "Hey, tell some more N-word jokes," but he didn't
Oh
say N-word, and I
my
was just like,
God.
"Whoa, whoa!" It was so uncomfortable. Of course, the comic just like not angrily, but just like dug into him
Yeah.
hardcore, making fun. It was just like,
The guy with the
whoop.
fake hair. The guy with the hat whose fake hair was attached to the hat
Yep.
is a racist.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk?
Hmm. Yeah.
Jesus. That is
I
a
thought
bold.
I never thought I'd hear. Yeah, I just felt like,
Yeah,
wow,
I don't know.
really?
I don't know that I've ever heard that in a live show setting before from a white, especially an
Well, he
audience
was. I
member.
mean, he was very old. He was a super old Asian guy, but
Huh.
still, I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
I mean, maybe he's
I
like
mean, his
not all
everyone he
there or
was with
something.
was very embarrassed.
Oh, he was with people?
He was with like I don't know, probably his son or his son's
Oh
friend, or
my
like I'm
God.
guessing because it was like he was way older than the people he was with.
I do think something's happening where there was this sort of political correctness movement, and cancel culture or whatever. And then now
Yeah,
I think we are currently in the backlash to that. I think we would both agree. Like it's now swung the other way where it's like,
yeah,
yeah, you should joke about anything. And then every once in a while, somebody got like listened to one too many podcasts and got a little too much confidence, and then they do that, and
yep.
they think it's gonna be cool. Like, nah, man, it's like Rogan, dude. And they try it, and then they find the line, and that's where you go.
Incorrect.
That's
Oh.
that's where we were supposed to be all along. Just not saying that.
Hmm. Terrible.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Got any
So,
appliance talk?
any appliance talk? I don't think so. My stupid dishwasher is breaking again. The top. Do you ever have a problem with the top half of your dishwasher getting too much weight on it and then falling down, breaking?
Yeah, like your washer falls out of its,
Yeah.
it leans
Like
forward out of
if
the
people put
place
heavy
it's
stuff on the top rack, then it snaps down.
the rack snaps down, or your whole
Yeah.
dishwasher kind of comes out of the.
No, no, the rack breaks.
Oh no, I have it where the whole unit
Oh shit,
leans
that's like worse
down.
maybe.
Yeah,
So that means
that hasn't happened in a while.
your rack is super strong, but the actual dishwasher is
Right,
weak.
is not
Okay.
attached properly.
My rack just gives up on itself. And then I tried to fix it, put a screw in it myself, and it's fallen apart again. But that's all I can think of.
Hey, do you wash your, or what is it? Take out the
Balls?
filter of your dishwasher? Did you
No,
say
never.
balls?
Yeah, I do wash my balls. I
Hey, me too. We're like twinsies.
Hey, we are twinsies. I
We should
never.
wash each other sometime.
Oh my god. I mean, if this thing wasn't virtual,
Yeah.
I
But you were saying something about your dishwasher.
please never filters. No, I
Yeah,
don't even
there's like
know
a thing you
how.
can take out.
I don't
In
even
our
know where
old
that
one, I
is.
knew how to switch it and clean
Dude,
it, but this one I haven't figured it out, so we don't.
don't know where it is. My fridge tells me that I both need a new water filter for the an ice filter.
Yep.
No chance. Never gonna ever know where that is, how to access it, how to get a new one. I just learned that our heater has an air filter. Did you know that your
Your
furnace has a
furnace?
filter? Yeah.
Yes. We had to
Yeah.
buy a new
I
furnace. That
that
was
we
like
were here 5 years.
$7,500.
We were here 5 years, and the man or woman or people who lived here before us had a Sharpie,
Mhm.
and they were writing on the furnace the date of every time they
Yep.
changed the filter, and it was
And how
goes
often was
back
it? Was it every month?
at once a year, going back
Oh,
to like 15 years. I was here 5 years. Not even didn't even occur to me. Did and then I'm looking at all these dates. I'm like, fuck. So I'm not gonna go cheat, and I got to write dates. I didn't change it just to go back and
so when you
make it.
sell the house, it doesn't
Yeah,
look
people are like, there
embarrassing.
wasn't like a 5 year gap where some asshole owned this house and let it go to shit.
It's all
Uh,
the same marker. They can tell you
yeah,
wrote it in one sitting.
I just did like
These are all still
2019
wet.
and 21, 22, 23. Uh, no, it was like, and I just, everybody, who knew? But yeah, you got to change that
Well, did you know
filter.
you're supposed to drain your water heater thing? The big
Never,
cylinder?
no, never gonna do it. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's
I
some
looked
guy.
up
Do you
how to
see
do
that
that.
guy on Instagram? He's like the dad who does home projects. He's like, here's how you replace your toilet and the 5 easy steps. And you're just like,
Fuck
good for you.
that guy.
Come over here and do it, you piece of shit.
Well, then, yeah, that pisses me off because I felt, I mean, I don't know if it's that guy, but I heard about that you're supposed to do that. So I did some research to how to change ours, and nothing matches any video anywhere. It's like, if
Yeah.
you have an electric one, here, if you have a gas one, here. And it's like, I have both. Like, what the fuck do I do if it has both parts that you're talking about?
I finally cleaned out the dryer vent. That was one thing I did.
The dryer vent in your your clothes
It
dryer?
goes from the dryer hose. Yeah, the dryer hose.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah,
goes
yeah, the
out. Like I
hose.
finally did that.
Yeah, that's kind of satisfying, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It
See all that shit come out.
was a big deal for me. A
Yeah.
big moment in my life.
But you change the lint filter, right? In your
That I do
machine.
that's one. I was just thinking about that. That is one filter I change every time.
Yeah, me
Very
too.
because that's
A
so
couple of
easy.
guys. Yeah.
Why can't all filters should be like on the fridge? Like if you want me to change this water filter or whatever, just make it right there. Pull it out,
Well,
rinse it, put it back in.
I know our job is to back each other up. I
Oh
I'm
no,
pretty sure that I can
no,
show you
no!
where it is.
Stop it.
But that being said, no, but that being said, I know where it is and I know how easy it is, and I still don't do it.
Do you need a new? Is it like Brita where you have to buy a new filter, or can you just
Yes.
rinse it out? Oh, well then it's a
No, it's like a thing you have to buy.
moot point.
And that's why I don't
Yeah,
do
it
it.
doesn't matter. I mean, where would I buy that?
Yeah.
That at the
Unless I like,
store?
you know,
What store do I go?
Amazon, I assume. You got to figure out what your model is and all
Ah,
that shit.
forget it.
No, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
I have kids. I don't have time for this shit.
10 seconds of Googling? I don't think so.
Yeah, no way.
I
Oh,
went
this is
and
some juicy appliance talk.
oh yeah. I love going to a store to buy stuff now. I'm like I'm against ordering things online. I can't wait, you know?
Isn't that funny? You feel like you're doing your part, like you're being green by
You're
going to
helping
Target
out. You're
and
helping out.
Amazon.
But I part of me hates it because I went to the Walgreens, and this might be a Portland thing. But I went to the Walgreens and
No, we have Walgreens.
well, I bet you, I bet at your Walgreens you can just like buy the thing, like you see it on the shelf, and you can grab
Oh
it,
yeah,
put it in your basket. Everything
you
was
got everything
behind
locked up.
glass. Everything. Like not I get it when it's like the high priced, fancy, whatever, or
Or
certain.
the condoms that kids will be embarrassed to buy.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But like everything, I was going just nothing, and I would go to the aisle, and you'd hit there's a button, and it would ding, and then they would go customer service, and aisle, and whatever aisle I'm in,
Yeah.
penis enlargement or whatever, and then uh nobody would come, just nobody comes. So you hit it again, like how many times? So then you just walk up and you're like, hey, can you? And then they do one thing and they leave. Like, no, 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 man, I got a whole list here. You just follow me around and go. So I just left. I was like, I'm not gonna do this.
Oh, that's off. I don't know how they're
Yeah.
still in business. I can't imagine that.
I don't get it either. They're all going, all those drugstores are going out of business, I think. They're like closing a lot of them.
Oh my god.
So,
Yeah, the one at ours, there's always waiting because you got the cashiers over at the FedEx counter because now they take FedEx packages.
oh
So
man.
the guy's got to like double duty it.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you think, buddy? Topics? Anything
Let's get
else?
into
Any other
topics.
updates?
I got no
How was
new
the
update.
vacation?
Oh yeah, it was good. The family reunion vacation. It was great. Good to see everyone.
Yeah,
Nice and relaxing. Went tubing. Played some cards at night. It
sounds great.
was
Sounds
just
wonderful.
lovely. Yeah.
Lots of
And where were
family.
you? Where were you that you couldn't?
Family
You were local.
vacation as well. We went to Cape Cod because my brother and his wife have a new baby, and they're spending a month in Cape Cod. That's where her family is, and so we kind of went to the beach. It was beautiful. The house
Nice.
we stayed at a we rented. My parents rented a house, which was fine, but like
Yeah.
no central air. It's very humid
Ooh,
on the East
yeah.
Coast. It was a little rough for us West Coasters. Like, it was like, oh my God. It was like just hard to get to sleep. And then just sand everywhere, like these beach houses. It wasn't on the beach,
Mm.
but it's pretty close. And they had indoor outdoor carpet on the deck on the back. So like if you ever went out there, you tracked in just like it was basically like a beach. They had like a sand beach on their deck. I think that was how much
Okay.
sand was in this thing. So I have nightmares about sand. Like if I feel any sand anywhere on me, I like freak out. It would get in the bed. Well, once the sand is in the bed, there's no going
Yeah.
back. And
Yeah.
then
Then you're done.
we get back and I was like, Ginger's daycare is out for the week because the teacher's on vacation or whatever, drying out in a rehab. I don't know. Who knows? Who's to say?
Sure. Probably.
But I so I'm like, oh, let's go to a new park. Like I was gonna take her to the park, and I was like, let's go to like some park we've never been to. Immediately we get there, giant sand pit. I was like, fuck, no more sand. I hate sand. I'm sick of sand. Sand is the worst. I know we've talked about this before, but it is so bad. And kids love sand. She can't get enough of
That
sand.
had to have been one of my topics.
Yeah,
Sandboxes
because
are
you
for
had a
morons.
sandbox. You
Yep.
were
We
dumb
still
enough to
have
put
one.
one in your.
We have, yeah. Oh, terrible.
They're the worst.
Hate it.
The
It's like,
kids love
oh,
them.
you're gonna take that away for you're gonna be a party pooper and take the kids love it. Like kids love a lot of things. How about we just don't give them that one thing that's a nightmare for the
That's so,
house?
and that's so funny too because like we Ginger loves the water. She like we took her to the beach every day, and it was great. But she would have so much fun that every time we had to leave, it was a huge fight. And she's never usually like that. Usually, if I go to the park, she likes the park. When I say it's time to go home,
Yeah.
it's maybe a little bit of a back and forth, but mostly like she's cool. The
Yeah.
water, it's a whole different level of fun because she just freaks out when it's time to go. And what I've learned is the best kid activities, like the best kid activity is trampoline park. So I took her to
Mm.
this trampoline park.
Was it expensive? Aren't they expensive though?
No, this one was very dangerous outdoors. It was seemed
Oh,
like
okay, nice.
a bad
Very
operation,
affordable.
but she loved it, and it just wears them out so quick. She was like 15 minutes. We're out in the hot sun. She's jumping on the trampoline. She's getting all red in the face, sweating. I was like, all right, this is your 2 minute warning or whatever. She's like, I'm good. And she just gets off. She had a blast, but she's so tired. When they're in the water, they're just floating around, having a great time on the
Yeah.
floaty or whatever. She never wants to leave. You got to do them. You need to find something that's fun and also exhausting to them.
Yeah.
That's the perfect kid activity.
Yeah.
That's what I
And
figured out.
trampolines are it because it is so fun, but so
But
much work.
very tiring. I remember what it was like.
Yeah.
I was to one of those stupid comedy festivals. The Montana one took us to some
Yeah.
adult trampoline park. Just 5 minutes walking around on those because the whole thing is like
Yeah.
padded and bouncy. 5 minutes of trying to like walk around and get on stuff. You're like immediately like, oh my God, get me out of here. All these out of shape comics. I remember it was all
Yeah.
these out of shape comics who were like exhausted and sweaty immediately. And then Preacher Lawson, who was doing like, 50-foot somersault
Yeah.
dunks and stuff. Preacher Lawson? He's just like super ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Topics.
Topics. All right. Me or you?
You. You go
All right.
first.
I'm going to do it. All right. So if you are a manufacturer of clothes, you should be required to make tall person sizes. You might not sell a lot of them, but I like it to like what is it, the AADA, America's Disability Act.
Right.
Hey, you know this wheelchair ramp probably doesn't get used every day, but they have to have it because there might be one person that needs
Right.
to use it. I am that one person with clothes where just the thought of shopping for clothes is a nightmare for me if it's a long sleeve shirt or pants because everything has to be custom made. And if it's like, oh, this company has these cool pants, well, they probably don't make Johnny Beaner size. Either the arms are going to be the sleeves will be too short, or they won't be long enough. No one makes a 36 length
No.
pant. And if they do, the waist is, 48.
Yeah.
And it's
Doesn't
just
that
so
suck?
frustrating.
There's so many skinny tall people. When I think about it in my head, I'm like, a lot of tall people are skinny,
Yep.
but we don't make that store. It's always like you
No.
think of it like the big fat and big and tall, big and tall.
Big,
There's
and it's
never just
big and
tall.
tall.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to be
It's not big or tall. It's
like
big and tall.
you do eat whatever you want and a lot. So you're not
Yeah.
like, but you should just try and get really fat because
I
then
know.
like you'd have more clothes
I would have
options. I
more
feel like.
choices.
Yeah. So your
Just
argument I think I'm backing you up, but you're basically saying being tall is a disability. Like
Yes, I do.
you're on planes, you're inconvenient, it's not convenient.
Yep,
I think tall people like die sooner. Is
they
there any
do.
truth to that?
They do.
Yeah,
Yep.
like dogs, big dogs
Y-
and tall people.
Yep. Yep. That's true.
Uh you get
We're generally a clumsier type.
growing pains, those hurt,
Yeah. Yep. I never
right?
had those.
You never had growing
Yeah.
pains?
Did you?
I don't probably not. I don't know.
I mean, Edie does, but they're also not tall. So I don't
I
know.
think I had, how everyone makes fun of restless leg syndrome, like comedians would make fun of the restless leg syndrome, like as it
Yeah, I
being
made
like a
fun of that.
fake
I'm not
disease.
quite sure I understand what it is.
I think I had that
What is
as
it?
a kid.
Just
Like
wiggles on its own?
you have this unquenchable thirst to like move your, like when you're trying to sleep. And then you're like, I have
Oh,
to move my leg right now or else I'm gonna die. Like
go crazy.
it's crazy. It's weird.
Like
It's
like people that have to tap. They just can't stop tapping.
kind of, but it's not even a compulsive thing. It's like an uncomfortable, you just feel
Oh
so
man.
uncomfortable. And then I used to think, oh, these must be growing pains when I was a kid. And
Huh.
that would happen to me. But I think I had restless leg syndrome. And then one time I took too many Benadryl on a plane thinking it would help me sleep. But with Benadryl, you can go over like one or two really does knock
And
you
it
out.
gets you high.
But if you go too far with it, then it goes the other way, and it gave me like horrible restless leg syndrome on the plane. So it was the opposite. Like I wanted to sleep so bad,
Oh,
but
really?
I literally had to get up and started pacing the aisles. So I didn't sleep at all.
Whoa. I
So
did
never
not know
take too
that.
much Benadryl. But back to your topic.
Yeah. So
Being tall, yeah, yeah. Being
my
tall is a
brother-in-law's got.
you should be able to park in handicap spots
Thank you. That's what I'd like.
and
You
use
buy
handicap
nice
stalls.
clothes. You buy fancy clothes,
No,
okay,
no,
right?
really don't. I go
Okay.
long
Never
stretches.
mind.
Well, that's a compliment. Thank you for thinking that I do. But I'm currently wearing a free t-shirt that you got me
That's
actually.
true. Well, that's a great t-shirt. But like my
It is a
brother-in-law,
nice.
there's a company called Taylor Stitch. And it's like fancy, high-end expense. I don't know if it's not like fancy, but it's like,
Got to be
oh,
honest with
people
you. It does not
they're
sound fancy.
what, Taylor Stitch?
No, I mean because it's like a pun on Taylor Swift, so it doesn't
But
sound.
it's not as it's not it has nothing to do with Taylor Swift. It's like Taylor, like a tailor is a person that makes clothes and then stitch.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. I thought the same thing, but it has nothing to do with Taylor Swift.
I mean, how could it have nothing to do with it? Sounds just like Taylor Swift, Taylor Stitch, Taylor Swift. All
I
right.
know that's not. I mean, that's not their fault. I
Did
think they
they
should change the
start
name
before Taylor Swift was famous?
before she was the. I have no. I don't care. I don't know.
Anyway, I mean, if I were in the meeting for Taylor Stitch and everybody was like, "Oh, what about Taylor Stitch?" I'd be like, "Doesn't that kind of sound like Taylor Swift? Aren't people going to think we're like a Taylor
Yeah,
Swift cover band or something?" I would
that's
have brought that
exactly what I
up.
thought.
That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
So, anyways, but it's like finally made clothing, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, look at these fucking assholes. I guess I just
Right.
can't do that because
They
they don't
don't,
make my size. Because they don't
which is
get,
so
they're like,
funny
too
because
small of a portion of people.
we're so we are so elitist with height because if you were too short, you would have all these problems in life, like women wouldn't want to
Yep.
date you, people would think you're not powerful or you know. But then once you
Yeah.
get too tall, then there's all these other problems that come from that. There's a
I know. I gotta
very
look
small
this.
range that you can be.
You gotta be average. That's the sweet spot.
Just above, you want to be
Just
like
above average.
6 foot to 6'2", I think. six
What do you
three.
think is well,
Well,
what do
how
you think
tall
will
are
be the
you?
I'm 6'5".
Yeah, way too tall.
So yeah, 6'1",
Three,
6'2" is good.
6'3" max. Once you're anything
Max.
over
Yeah.
6'3", you're a freak. You're
You're
disabled.
a freak and no one should make clothes. What do you think's the perfect length for your wiener?
Oh man. Well, I was gonna give a joke answer, but should I just let's just be real about it. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I mean, who are we to decide?
Yeah.
What do you want to say as like if you could just because like if you could give an
I think
like
it'd be
if
great. Wait, what?
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think it'd be great if if when it's not at attention, it was like 1 inch. It's just out of the way, you know?
You want it just to retract completely,
Well, yeah, like there's
just be
growers and
gone.
showers. Like if you could just go away, like when I'm not using it, it's just not there.
Yeah, but then like
Sometimes you have pants where you're like, oh, can you see my dick in this? You know?
yeah, trust me, I know that problem. But the oh, you see me wearing parachute pants all the time. I think
Even that. I mean, that's too tight on me.
you don't want like there's a story. Have you ever heard the story Artie Lang told about how he was acting and he was kind of new to acting and he had a makeout scene with this attractive actress and he was
Yeah.
so nervous about he's like, "Oh my God, I'm going to get hard
Yeah.
and then she's going to think I'm like a creep and
Yeah.
then it's going to ruin the scene or I'll get fired or whatever."
Yeah.
So he literally taped down his dick
Dick.
to keep it from doing anything, like literally tape, you know?
Okay.
And then after the scene, the actress was like, "Yeah, I thought, we had chemistry or it was going, but seems like you weren't really into it." She's like, totally like, and he's like, "Oh my God, no, 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 I taped my dick down." He's like, "What?"
I didn't want you to think I was
Uh,
a weirdo, so I taped my dick to my chode.
so I say that because you're right. It would be nice to retract your penis to never have it be like in any sort of inopportune situations, except for when you don't want people to think you have a 1 inch dick all the time either.
Well, who would think
So,
that?
well, if you're like, you're not worried about it, like if you're in the shower and
Yeah.
then people not trying
Yeah.
to, but happen to glimpse, and they're like, "Wow, that's the smallest dick I've ever seen." Like that story gets
Yeah.
around probably.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I
I
wasn't
think
thinking
there
like
should be
growing up.
three settings. There should be three settings. There should be,
Right now, I'm fine. If that was my case now, I don't care if people
well, you're
see my
married
dick and like that
now.
guy's got a little dick.
Now it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're married. But like
Yeah.
there should to me there should be three settings. There should be
So,
like
three settings on your dick.
yeah, like on the laundry, like a little turn, like you should have a little knob on your thigh. And there should be
Okay.
like erect,
Yep.
then what you're saying, 1 inch,
Yep.
go into hibernation, just get out of the
Yep.
way. Stay out of the way. Just stay out of the way.
Yeah.
And then there should just be like display.
Yeah,
Where,
for
like
show.
let's say, oh my God, we're gonna be crazy. We're in France. Let's go to the nude beach. Like I don't want a big erect penis, but I also don't want my 1 inch retractable penis either. So here's just display penis, just a nice floppy long penis.
Yeah. Yeah. A
Not harming
nice. Yeah,
anybody.
I just want a nice floppy long schlong.
Yeah. Not harming anybody, not creepily
Not not
pointing out
intimidating.
pointing at anybody, but also like enough of a thing that no one thinks like, "Oh, that's sad for that guy."
Yeah. Okay, I'll get behind that. Was that your topic?
Sure. My topic was every man should have a dial on their leg that they could turn to get the appropriate
For
penis
three settings of their
setting.
dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
that, that wasn't my
You back
topic.
me up. What is your topic?
Here's what I need. Okay. How I got so in the weeds there, I forgot. Oh, we haven't talked, I don't think, since the 4th of July. Did you have fireworks? Did you do any fireworks celebrations? Did you
No, we
watch
did.
fireworks?
We tried to look at them from our driveway, and there was a tree in the way, so we just went inside. no, no. We were not we were not ambitious this year.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Kids, come on. The fireworks shows. Oh, fuck. The tree's in the way. All right. Back inside.
It's funny. That's very accurate. We did. We like got a
I
pack from
mean,
Target,
there
so we like
wasn't
lit
like
them up.
you couldn't walk like 10 feet. And what fireworks usually are very high. You couldn't walk like in any
No, I
direction to
know.
see.
It's very buggy. It's very buggy.
Oh, there were bugs.
Yeah, a lot of bugs. We didn't want to
Oh,
stay outside too long.
yeah.
But we did get one of those packs from Target, where
Mhm.
you light them off in
Home
your street.
fireworks.
Yeah, I think Duncan was expecting him to be like a baseball stadium fireworks set, and he was like, "That's it? That's what they do? I thought they would go in the sky." I was
Yeah.
like, "No,
No,
not for $15."
not for legal. Not for legal
Yeah,
fireworks. You have to go to the res to get the good stuff. Okay, so here's what I need backup on because
yeah.
most cities, I think, especially out west, because there's so much drought, but most cities have banned like the big fire, have banned
Oh, like the big
fireworks.
display.
Like the
Okay.
ones I remember from being a kid, they're like illegal in most like major
Yeah.
cities. And Portland is the same. We outlawed fireworks. In LA, technically, fireworks are illegal. I don't know if you remember living in LA, people did not adhere to this
Right to the law.
law. And
Yeah.
Portland is the same way, and every city in the country, I'm sure, is the same way. Where if they do ban fireworks, it doesn't matter. It's a
Yeah.
nice try, but there's no point because nobody's gonna. And then every year, there's all these neighbors that I hear from, either on my street or on online. Hey, uh, did anybody get the memo? Fireworks are illegal. I have a dog. I have this. You're gonna burn down the city. Fireworks are illegal, actually, and they do the same. And then next year it'll be the same thing where fireworks will
Yeah.
be illegal, and everyone will set them off on the 4th of July, and your dogs will go crazy, and you'll get pissed off, and this will repeat itself until we're all dead. And that's just
Yes.
all. So what I need backup on is like, can we just skip the fake outrage where on the 4th of July, you're mad because fireworks are going off?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
just a thing. It's like getting mad at, the bookshelf you stub your toe on. Like that's just there. That's a
Yep.
part of life. You know, it's just something we're all gonna have to get. I don't know what to do, but to tell you, get out of town. 4th of July comes, go to a different country. I don't know what to tell you, but get on a boat and just get the fuck out into the ocean or something. But no one's ever
Yeah.
going to follow this law. Since I was a
Yeah,
kid,
and it'll never change. It'll never change. It's
it'll
like
never
it's like those
change.
people in like March in Wisconsin. People are like, can you believe it? It's still, my God, when I was growing, I was like, no, every year
Right.
it's cold
Yeah.
this late in the year.
It
Just
snows at a
shut
crazy
up.
time and you're like, what's
Yeah.
going on? No, and even now they have these drone shows. I don't know if you've seen any of these. Like some cities, I think
Oh yeah.
Seattle, they've replaced the fireworks with these drones, and they're
They do them at
amazing.
Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, they look so cool, and they're incredible, and they're way better than fireworks shows. And it doesn't matter. It's not the point. People like blowing the thing up. They like the smoke. They like the destruction. They like the danger. They don't want to see
Yep.
pretty. They want to see loud.
Don't hear a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
So
back you up.
just get used
Yeah.
to it. I don't like them either. Freaks my dog out. I don't want
Yep.
fires. I don't give a shit about fireworks anymore. I remember the first
But you're
time.
not surprised.
You know the comedian, and he's a great guy, he's super funny. But Phil Palisol, do you remember? You ever work
I
with
know who he
him?
is.
Denver guy,
I never worked with
great
him, but I know.
comic, very funny, cool dude. Was so sweet to me. And I remember the first when I first started working on Norwegian, the cruise ship, they would do fireworks. They don't do them anymore, but they did back then. And he's like, you got to go up and see the fire. He was like upset. You got to see the fireworks. That's one thing. I just let's go. And we went together and we looked at him, and I was like, I was like, Duncan, look at the ones in your yard. I was like, all right, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? I've seen
Yeah.
fireworks before, and he was just staring
Yeah.
at them all. Like,
Oh,
I'm glad
on a
this does it for you,
boat.
Phil. But
Yeah.
so they do nothing for me. I would love if they actually did ban them and they went away. I hate fireworks now, but
Yeah.
they're not going anywhere. So quit bitching about it. Just deal with it
Amen.
somehow.
Amen.
Okay.
I agree.
That's it. You're backing me up.
I back you up.
Well,
All
we're
right. What
back.
dates you got coming up?
Okay, good question. I'm gonna be in Phoenix area. You just have to get on my website to see them because I have no idea where these shows are. But August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Phoenix.
All
And I
right.
will tell you the venue later. Okay.
I will be at the St. Louis Funny Bone, August 1 through 4. And then Madison Comedy Week. I'll be at the Burr Oak on Tuesday, the 6th, I believe. And then I'll be at Comedy on State, Best of the Fest on Saturday, August 10th.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
We'll check those shows out. Wait, how are you on the best of the fest? They haven't even had the fest yet.
Because it's not a competition. It's like
I
I
know,
don't know.
but I mean, best of the fest. What if you're
They
not?
they just they know
Oh,
I'm the best.
I like that. I like that. All right. That's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening to The
The
Cavalry.
cavalry.